What's up, everybody? You got VPB Money Man here. On this channel, I hit people with blunt force trauma reality to their face. A lot of people don't like it, but if you listen to me in the future, you will definitely thank me. I tell people what they need to hear, not what they want to hear. We're going to talk about real estate today, but before we get into the video, like, subscribe, hit the notification bell, turn your post notifications on. A lot of people on YouTube constantly talk about stocks, dividend stocks, quick plays. Now, in my opinion, and it's been proven, quick plays is gambling and index funds is investing. There's a big difference, but there's another key component that a lot of these people don't talk about because they either don't own real estate or they don't understand how real estate works. Real estate will help you speed up your dreams of retiring early, financial freedom, promised land stuff they talk about. That is what I did. That enables you to be able to buy, let's be honest, the dumb shit, all the cars and the trips. When you have real estate and you have index funds and you have a working wage, you are able to literally speed up, getting out of that rat race even quicker. A lot of people do not take advantage of the FHA loan the right way. What I did was, instead of buying a single family home, the first time home buyers, I bought a multifamily home. Now, when I went to the bank, I spoke to people ahead of time and they said, do not go there and say this is an investment property. Go there and say this is going to be your residence. You're going to live there. If you say it's an investment property, the interest rates could be different. It could be a whole different problem you cause for yourself. So I said it was my residence because I did live there. People tend to use the FHA loan and they go out and they buy the biggest house in the neighborhood or they buy single family homes. Now, some people like to say a single family home is not an investment. Some people will say it is an investment. There's an argument with that we're not going to talk about. In my opinion, I will buy a multifamily house first any day before I buy a single family home. Here's why. The more doors you get, the more income you can bring in. You got to do your research on the neighborhoods. Now, this is going to sound very bad, but when you're searching for homes, you want to go to the neighborhood at night. This is going to sound very, whatever, but it is what it is. You want to look for people exercising at night. That is a trick. People walking with their kids, 10 o'clock, 11 o'clock, walking dogs and jogging. If there's hoodlums hanging out in the neighborhood at night, you do not want to buy a home there. You want to look for people out, families out, all hours of the night, walking dogs, enjoying the great weather. If you got people hanging out on corners and people, loud music and pit bulls and mean dogs everywhere, you don't want to live in that neighborhood because there's a very good chance there's a high crime rate there. Now, when you go to the bank for a multifamily home, I would buy a multifamily home with an FHA loan. I believe it's still 3.5% down. Now, people are going to say 3.5%, you're going to have a PMI. The problem with people saying that is your PMI goes away once you get 20% of equity in the home anyway. Remember, you're buying a multifamily home. A PMI is it's not a lot of money added to your mortgage anyway. A PMI is personal mortgage insurance. If you don't pay your mortgage, you're losing the house anyway, and the bank is getting the house regardless. When you buy a multifamily home, 2 doors, 3 doors, 4 doors, 5 units, you have other people helping you pay your mortgage anyway. You want to live there. And in my opinion, I would live on the bottom floor. Here's why. It's easier for you to get groceries into the home. And bottom floors, they tend to stay cooler. When you live on the 4th floor, 5th floor, 6th floor, it gets hotter up there. Heat rises. You want to be able to keep your costs low. When you're renovating these homes, these multifamily homes, you don't want to go too crazy in your unit. What a lot of people tend to do in their unit when they're living there, they go granite countertops, hardwood floors, they're doing window treatments and all this. Remember, you want to have a plan where you're there 5 years, 6 years, 7 years, 8 years, 10 years. You want to be on the same page with your significant other. This is not going to work if you guys have different plans. If she wants a a single family home and you want a multi-family home, you want to really sit her down and say, babe, I'm looking for our long-term future. I don't want to be working the rest of my life. I don't want you working the rest of your life. I want to be able to have a great life. When our kids are going to school, public school system, we will move into a single family home and we will use the rent to pay this home. Okay, we will use our rent to pay off that home and towards our single family home in a better neighborhood. Remember, you want your money and their money to work for you. So now when that multifamily is paid off, now you have that money that you're paying your single family off with. And now once everything's paid off, now you can use other renters' money for the expensive cars, for the trips, for the lavish lifestyle, to retire early. That's how millionaires do it. They just don't invest in index funds. They just don't have their wage. They have real estate. Now, let's get back to this first-time home buyers. A lot of people will say, don't do that with 3%, 4%. In my opinion, I would put down 10% or 15%. That way you could live there for a couple years and then you can make extra payments and now your PMI is gone. And you should look into property tax assessments. A lot of time people pay more tax and they don't get a property assessment. You can hire a property assessment lawyer to do a property assessment. And a lot of times you don't even have to put any money out of pocket. They will take the first couple months of the difference. Meaning if they lower your taxes, say $500, they'll take the first 3 months of that $500. But then after that, now you get to save $500 for the period of your loan or for however you have your loan. You want to get as many doors as possible. That's how a lot of your Jewish communities, Portuguese, Hispanic, Indian, that's how a lot of your other communities and cultures, that's how they build long-term wealth and they pass that knowledge on to their children. Here's another thing. Black folks like to say white people and everybody else is culture vultures. Well, there's nothing wrong with us being culture vultures, taking the knowledge that they have and using it for our benefits. The problem is we get wrapped up into what the community thinks of us. We rather show nice cars and show nice clothes instead of buying real estate, because who can walk around with real estate around their neck? But that's how you really change your future. First-time home buyers, in my opinion, what I would do, I would get as many doors as I can. I would use that first-time home buyer loan to buy multifamily properties, live in there as long as you can, stack as much money as you can. Don't spend the money that your renters are giving you. Put that extra, snowball that into your property and your real estate to try to get that paid off as quick as possible, and then have a 2-3 year plan where, okay, now we want to buy another home. You save your money, your wife's money, your renter's money, and you put 20%, 25, 30% down on your next home. That way you do not have a PMI, but you still double up those payments where all those renters, you use that money to pay off the multifamily and you use your money to pay your mortgage. And then when that's paid off, you snowball it on your single family. Now you have 2 properties that are paid off. Your single family that you and your family are in a really nice neighborhood, and your multifamily that's in a good, decent neighborhood. All that money is taking care of the taxes. It's taking care of all the repairs. And now you just made a really good tax haven for yourself, because now you can start writing off depreciation, the repairs of that house. Remember, the IRS just wants receipts. So you could start putting a lot of that receipts together, getting higher tax returns, writing off depreciation. Now you're going to have to claim that income because all that income coming in, but now you could start to back out of the workforce. You could start to back away a little bit. And people will always say, well, what happens, if people don't pay the rent? That's part of the responsibility of owning real estate in multifamilies. But they will always be renters. There will always be renters and there will always be buyers. You can be both. You can rent out your place to renters and you can be buyers and owners of your own. That's how real wealth is created, because now all the stock money you're bringing in, all the index funds. Remember, index funds are set it and forget it. You don't got to worry about that. You're in the real estate game now. You don't have time to be doing quick plays and watching Tuesdays and Thursdays of people doing day trading and all that crap. You know, somebody's toilet bowl is stopped up. You got to go handle that. You're a real estate owner now, but it will feel good to know you own something. It will feel good to know that you're leaving something to your children. And remember, these renters can help you with their college education now. That is how you free up money, and this is how you retire early and you really get to enjoy the fruits of your labor. So I hope this video helped. No regrets.